How you doing? Welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and I'm so happy to be in front of the camera. I haven't done this in quite some time. So here I am. As you can tell, I am sporting a new do. For those of you that are not aware, I shaved my head. I recently underwent a medical procedure, and so I had to shave my head for that. But I'm doing well. Thank you so much for the love and the support. I appreciate you. I am at 19,000 subscribers, soul families out there, so I love you so much, and just can't thank you enough. I can't believe it. It's grown. The channel has grown this much. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I may be doing this for a couple of the celebrity psychic readings that I've done out there. A lot of you have asked for me to do like a second or an update to the psychic readings that I've done. So today I'm going to be revisiting the Wendy Williams psychic reading that I did for her quite some time, that I did for y'all, and I'm going to be giving you the tea, so don't think I came unprepared. I got the tea. So let's get into it. What do I see for Wendy Williams, you know, for 2019? I really will say that Wendy messed up. I really feel like she messed up big time. Leaving the show was not the best career move. Even if she had some health issues, I do feel like she took an extended amount of time to heal, which I understand, you know, that's necessary at times. We are human. But I really feel like her heart and soul is not in the show anymore. Honestly, that's what I get from Spirit. So there's a lot of changes and things that are coming back. I feel like she has the impression that everything's going to go back to normal, and that she's going to be well received by, you know, her audience with as before. But I don't feel like things are going to be going back to normal. And I do, you know, like I had said in the initial video that I had done for her, I honestly do feel that her show is going to come to an end. Either the producer going to cancel it, or they're just going to, you know, swipe it clean, the network, and, you know, get another host like Steve Harvey or somebody to, you know, with their own show to replace her show. So I feel like that is coming. You know, it may not be something immediately if she does return, but we still have to see if she pushes back that return, you know, another time. A lot of tea going on. Interestingly enough, when I did tune into her now, into her soul, and I get information, it seems like the problems that she was having with her, you know, her partner, you know, all of that he was beating her up and this and this, I feel like those issues are behind her as of right now. But I do feel, you know, that trip that she did to Florida, what Spirit is revealing to me is that there could be somebody else that Wendy is hooking up with. I know the tea is very hot. But yeah, I really feel like there is somebody else potentially that is hooking up with Wendy, someone that is interested in her. So even though she may be seen to a lot of people as loyal to her, you know, her partner, you know, what source is revealing to me, what Spirit is revealing, is that there may be somebody else that she's already in contact with, maybe on a romantic level. But the time away from her husband, you know, it doesn't seem like Wendy. And I think a lot of people are expecting her to come back on the show and address these rumors. It's very hot, you know, people want to know. And I feel like, you know, she may touch on it, she may avoid it. I feel like she's going to, in most cases, avoid it and just talk about her health, and keep, you know, try to keep going. But like I said, I feel like all of this, you know, she had enough time to kind of rest, but when it gets into her soul, when I get into her soul just doesn't feel like it's anymore, you know, it's not like it's, you know, invested in the show. I feel like she, you know, was good at the show. She did, you know, her years in the show, but at the same time, it's like she's reached this point in her life where she's kind of, you know, tired of the gossip and, you know, spreading rumors and stuff like that and instigating, because a lot of the stuff that she would do, you know, I feel like it was scripted from the producers, but also some of it was part of her. And I feel like she's reached a certain level where she doesn't want that bad karma following her anymore. The Graves disease that she has, that is very real. I do feel like she does have, like I said, and I feel like she had a stroke, but she's covering up, or she had the symptoms of a pre-stroke, which is, what do you call that, TIA. It's very possible that she had that, but it's something to very, very much watch. Passing out in public, people will say that's a stunt, but I don't feel like she really, made that up. I really feel like she is sick, and I feel like a lot of her energy was going to the show. And when you focus on your work and put your work before, your family and before yourself, you kind of lose yourself in all of this. You lose yourself, and you lose a piece of your, of your soul, because you're just dedicated to that, and you're not, enjoying the moment. You're not enjoying life. So yeah, there's going to be big changes. I feel like the producers and the network are going to meet with her. It's not going to be pleasant. I'm pretty sure they already are exchanging, commentary, and there's dialogue between them on what, she's going to say, preparing her for when she returns. But I just feel like this is not, there's a lot of challenges that are ahead for her. And of course, I do feel like, eventually, like I said, her relationship, her marriage, or whatever she's, whatever you want to call that, is going to come to an end. And she's going to eventually move on to another person, if she hasn't already. So between here and the next 2 years, there would be a finality to her marriage, to that marriage, that relationship, whatever you want to call it. And she's going to be moving on to another relationship with another person. Also, I feel like, she is standing more in her power. This whole time away has made her realize what she wants, what she doesn't want. It has made her open her eyes up a little bit more to, the world, and how she treats people, and how she's treated herself. I feel like a lot of the, her fans, her diehard fans, and people that support her have been very forgiving of her, and have been very accepting. But I really feel like her heart and soul is not in it anymore. She could do other projects, like, producing films, or helping with that, or doing, her radio work like she used to do. That's something that she could go into very much so. Again, I do feel like, this show, there's going to be a lot of things that she's not expecting, that she's going to encounter, and the tabloids, upon her returning, are going to run rampant on her. They're going to be really on her, and dissecting what they see, what the public sees, how she's being well received. So there's going to be headlines again when Wendy returns to her show. And I feel like, is she prepared for it? In many ways she is, but she doesn't know what she's getting herself into coming back onto the show. And people, like a lot of her diehard fans that have watched the show religiously, they do miss her. They really do miss her. But I feel like, in a sense that, her health is gonna, if she's not careful, she is going to see a decline again. And I feel like, apart from whatever is going on in her marriage that she doesn't want to separate due to fear, or due to, being afraid that she's not going to be able to meet someone else, or because of her finances. Apart from all of that, I do feel like she is very much, she's hurt by all of this. And I feel like to a certain point, she doesn't want to come back to the show, but contractually she has to do it. I do feel like she's under that contract. So stipulations for that, is that she has to finish her contract whenever it's up. But, of course, there's always, red tape tied to contracts. They can change things at any given moment. But for her, what I feel like is that she's really contemplating everything. And at some point, I feel like she is going to realize that this is no longer fulfilling in her career, and she's reached a point where she's outgrown this, and she's ready for the next step. And I also feel like, her coping mechanism, if she's not careful, like I said, going back to her health, if she's not careful, she has bad or unhealthy coping mechanisms, whether this is alcohol or other things that, you know, she puts into her body. But if she's not careful, she can easily get into an addictive type of state of mind, and I'll just leave it at that. And that can affect her in many, many ways, where, you know, she wouldn't be able to function, and again, her health is just going to continue to deteriorate. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on with Wendy, and I just feel like, you know, she's damned if she doesn't, she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. And that's the kind of energy behind all of this. You know, her back is pushed up against the wall, and she has no choice but to return. You know, if it was for her, I think she would try to take another 2 months hiatus, you know, of 4 or 5 months, or even a whole year of like a sabbatical for herself if she could. But ultimately, she knows that she can't do that, and she has to return back to her show. And I'm just worried for her state of mind. You know, I know that a lot of you out there may have your preconceived notions against Wendy. You know, I'm not here to judge Wendy or to criticize her in many ways. I do feel like she has messed up by, you know, choosing to extend her leave of absence, you know, out of the show. But apart from that, you know, I do feel like she has feelings. She is a human being. But I think we all see celebrities as, you know, just being celebrities and rich people, and, you know, what could they possibly relate to us, or, you know, what possibly could they be struggling with all of that. But at the end of the day, I see them as, you know, regular people just like you and I, and they have feelings and they have emotions and they go through shit just like we do. And I think it's very real, you know, that if it was somebody else that wasn't a celebrity going through this, would you be as empathetic to them as you would be, you know, to Wendy? And I think a lot of people are, you know, wanting to see her fail in many ways. But she's come this far, you know. She reminds me of Joan Rivers in many ways, you know, because Joan was that kind of personality. She couldn't give 2 cents, you know, a care of what anyone said about her, and she was going to give you the tea whether you liked it or not. And that's kind of like how I feel, you know, that Wendy is in many ways. You know, she doesn't really care what people think about her. Yeah, it does, you know, bother her at sometimes, but she's kind of grown out of that. So we have to see yet what is going to exactly happen with her. But I can tell you she's going to be in the headlines still, and I can tell you that it will be a shock. I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if her show does get canceled, or, you know, they get someone to replace her in many ways. Because like I said, even though you're locked into a contract, there could be certain, I don't know what you call that in legal terms in your contract, like, not disclaimers, but you can help me in the comments section if you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like, it starts with an A. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's like a clause in many ways, where things can be amended, you know, and the network could possibly, you know, break the contract at any given time with her. But, you know, either way, if this does come to pass, she's gonna be fine. I really feel like she's gonna go into her next, you know, creative mode, and it could possibly be, you know, behind TV. I really feel like that's the direction that she's going to want to go into, is more of like movie producing, you know, docu-series, or kind of like something like that, you know, behind, kind of like she did with the biography with Aaliyah, you know, something like that. You know, that's what she'll probably go into, and maybe do radio again, which I feel like it's going to be better for her, because I feel like there's just so much stress. And even though she loves the attention behind screen, I feel like she's, like I said, she's outgrown it. That's kind of like how everything is coming through from spirit for her. So I wish her all the best, and I hope that she really does, you know, get better, and she, you know, she does learn from all of this, you know, or take something away from it, you know, what was best for her. And I think as human beings, we work, you know, whether it's a 9-to-5 job or we just, you know, work self-employed, we push ourselves, you know, to a certain point, and we never take time to have a break for ourselves, or to really, you know, give ourselves some time, you know, to breathe, to live, to enjoy the moment. So, you know, a lot of women, when they go on maternity leave, they, you know, they sometimes it's a deciding factor. Or sometimes when, you know, men or women go through surgeries, or, you know, they lose someone in their family, it kind of makes you reevaluate your priorities. Are you putting your work before your, you know, your family and your personal life and your own well-being above all? You know, if you're sick and you're feeling very dedicated, I know that when I used to work out, you know, in one of the jobs that I had, which was like in a call center, I was the administrative assistant and senior business analyst, and I had a lot of responsibilities, and I felt very guilty leaving, you know, if I was sick and I had to miss a couple of days. Well, either I didn't have anyone to do my work for me, or it was waiting for me when I came back. And I was always just kind of spazzed out thinking, you know, oh my God, all that work, you know, who's going to be done doing it? And, you know, I felt like, you know, I wasn't going to be contributing to the team and letting them down. And you kind of get into that mindset for those that really do care about their job and just don't see it as a paycheck. For Wendy, I really feel like she does care about her job, but, you know, it's become a monster in many ways that now is haunting her, and it's like, this is the moment of reckoning. So again, we have to see how this all plays out, but this was my psychic reading, or revisit. I'm going to call this the revisiting of the psychic reading for Wendy Williams. So this is the updated tea. I want to wish you all the best, and thank you so much for tuning in. Also, let me get this here. If you have not picked up a copy of my book, this is called Starseed Footsteps. It is laminate hardcover. It has about 40 something chapters in it, and it's all about spiritual topics. Everything that you may question, you know, or have questions about, I covered in the book. And it would be very beneficial if you pick it up. If you want an autographed copy, you can order it directly from my website, and that's going to be listed in the description box below. If you want to order it from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, it won't be autographed, but you can also pick it up there as well. So, if you do want it, I get a lot of people asking me if, you know, I do just celebrity psychic readings. Do I read real people, everyday people? And the answer is yes. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And also be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing day.